Hello dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter 6, that is lines and angles. And student, this is first lecture of lines and angle, and in this lecture we will discuss about lines and angles and their types, and we discuss about pair of angles. So without wasting time, let's start today's lecture. And students, in this chapter we discuss about angles and their types, we discuss about angle made by transversals, and we discuss about angles related to triangles. Okay, so these are the few topics which will be covered in this chapter. Okay, so after this chapter outline, let's introduce our chapter. In previous chapter you have studied about minimum of 2 points we required to draw a line. Our previous chapter is what? Introduction to Euclid's geometry. In that chapter we discuss about what is the point, what is the line, what is the line segment, ray, and etc. And we study that the minimum 2 points are required to draw a line. You have also studied some axioms, and with help of these axioms you proved some other statements. Okay, in this chapter you will study the properties of angles formed when two lines are intersects each other, also the properties of angles formed when a line intersect two or more parallel lines. Further, you will use these properties to prove some statements using deductive reasoning. So this is the introduction of our chapter lines and angle. So let's start this chapter, and before starting this chapter let's discuss angles in daily life. If we look around us, then we see that we have many more examples of angles. So let's discuss them. In our daily life, you see different types of angles formed between the edges of plane surface. If we look the walls of this room, then if we look the angle formed between the edges of plane surface, when two surfaces met, then angle is formed. So for making a similar kind of model using the plane surface, you need to have thorough knowledge of angles. Okay, so let's discuss some more examples of angles in our daily life. Did you ever notice the two hands of clock? Because when two hands of clock moves, they form an angle between two hands. Then the two hands together make a different set of lines from a common point. These sets of lines form a common point is called angle. The two hands form a different angle every minute of the time. A clock forms an example of angle in real life. For example, let this is the clock, and this is hour hand, and this is minute hand. Then this is the angle between these two hands. Okay, and what are the other examples of angle in real life other than the clock? These are cloth hangers, scissors, arrowhead, partly open doors, pyramids, set square, edges of ruler, edges of table, cycle spokes, wheels, etc. etc. are the examples of angles in real life. Different alphabets also form the examples of angles. So these are all the examples of angles in our real life. So after this, let's discuss about some basic terms, and we already discussed about these basic terms in previous chapter, that is introduction to Euclid's geometry. So let's start these basic terms, and the first term is line segment. Line segment is what? It is a part or portion of a line with two endpoints is called a line segment. The line segment AB denoted by, and its length is denoted by AB. Okay, this is a line segment which has two endpoints A and B, and we represent it as AB. Okay. Now, after the line segment, the next term is ray. What is the ray? A part of line with one end point. Part of line with one end point is called a ray. Ray AB is denoted by AB. If this point A, and this is what this is, ray, and we denote it as ray AB. Ray has only one endpoint, line segment has two endpoints. Clear? So after this, let's move to the next term, and the next term is a line is the collection of infinite number of points and extends endlessly in both the directions. So a line is generally denoted by small letters such as L, M and P, Q, R, etc. So what is the difference between line segment and line? Line has no endpoints, but line segment has endpoints. Okay. So this is the example of line L. We can extend line in both directions. Clear? We already discussed these terms in our previous chapter. So now after these three terms, the next term is collinear points. What is the meaning of collinear points? If three or more points lie on the same line, then they are called collinear points. Okay. For example, this is the line L, and this point P, Q, R, S and T lies on this same line, then we can say that P, Q, R, S, T are collinear points. Clear? Now after the collinear point, the next point is non-collinear point. Non-collinear point means three or more points which are not lie on a same line, then points are known as non-collinear points. For example, this is a line and this is second line. Here we have A, B, C. Then we can say that ABC are non-collinear points. Okay, ABC are non-collinear points. Clear? Now after the collinear and non-collinear point, the next point is intersecting lines. What are the intersecting lines? Two distinct lines are intersecting if they have a common point. For example, we have two lines and this is a common point. This is line L and this is M, and this is a common point. Then these are intersecting lines. Okay, L and M are intersecting lines. Okay. Now the next is non-intersecting lines. And students, if lines are non-intersecting, then these lines are parallel. Two distinct lines which are not intersecting are said to be parallel. If two lines are not intersecting, students, this intersecting terms introduced for only two lines. Okay, more than two lines we use concurrency. So now this is L and this is M. If these two lines does not intersect, or we can say if these two lines does not have a common point, then these two lines are non-intersecting lines, or we can say these lines are parallel, L parallel to M. Clear? So students, I hope you understand all these points. So after these points, let's study about the angle. So students, before studying angle, let us do one interesting things. let us do one interesting thing and take a piece of paper and draw a dot anywhere on it. Name this dot O. Name this dot O. This dot O is called point. Let this is a piece of paper and this point is O. This dot O is what? It is a point. From this point, draw as many straight line as you can. How many straight lines you can draw? So, how many did you get? If we draw a straight line from this a point, how many straight lines you get? The answer is infinite. The answer is infinite. Because from a single point we can draw infinite straight lines. Okay. So after this, draw another dot and name it P and join O and P. We have O point already. This is O, and let's draw another point P and join this O and P. Then what will we get? OP is what? What did you get? OP is what? OP is a line segment OP with end point O and P. We get line segment. We already discussed about what is the line segment. So we can get OP. OP is what? Line segment, and the end points are O and P. Clear? Now, a line segment is a part of line. We already discussed about it. What is the line segment? Line segment is a part of line. And do you know a line has no endpoints like line segment? We have already discussed about it, that line is not endpoint, but line segment has endpoint. A line has many line segment in it. A line has many line segment in it. Okay. So after this, have you ever thought why we say sun rays and not sun line? Why we say sun rays, not sun line? What is the reason behind it? Because if you talk about the sun rays, then there is a one endpoint only. Sun has one endpoint, so we say it ray. Okay. Is ray different from line? Yes, it is. A ray has one fixed point. We already discussed about it. What is the ray? So ray has one fixed point. It cannot go in both the direction like that a line. We can produce line in both direction, but we can produce ray in only one direction. Clear? Now, for sun rays, the sun is the fixed point. As I say that sun has only one fixed point, so we can say that for the example, sun is the fixed point, and thus we say the light coming as sun rays. Light coming as sun rays because it has only one end point. So draw one more point other than O and P and call it R. Okay, we have 2 points O and P. When we join this O and P, we get a line segment OP. Now take one another point R and join OR. Okay, now what will we get? If you join OR, then what will we get? To join two lines and a common point, we get two lines and a common point. Now this shape is what? This is angle. This is an angle. This is what? Angle ROP. This is what? This is angle ROP. Clear? Now we discuss, or we can say that we introduce all about the angle. So now after the introduction of angle, let's discuss about terminologies in angles. Terminologies in angle. So the first term is vertex of angle. What is the vertex? The common starting point is an angle, is a vertex. Okay. Then after the vertex, the next is arms. The two rays forming an angle form a fixed point are arms. They are also called the sides of angle. For example, this is an angle. Let this point is A, this is B, and this is O. then this common end point, or we can say common starting point, this is what, this is vertex, and this is what, this is arm. Okay, and this is also arm. Clear? So now after this terminologies, the next is measuring angle. How to measure angles? Place the center of protector at the fixed point, say O, of the angle at the one of the arm. The other arm shows the degree of the angle when measured from the initial arm in an anti-clock manner. What is the meaning of this? Let this is the angle, this is A, this is B, this is O. Then we can write this as angle AOB. Clear? Now let's put the protector at this initial, this is what, this is initial arm, this is initial arm. Then by putting protector here, we measure this distance on protector, and we measure this in anti-clockwise, and what is the meaning of anti-clockwise? In the opposite direction of clock. Clocks move in this direction. This direction is clockwise, so this direction is anti-clockwise. Okay, so this anti-clockwise measure is measure of angle, and we represent it as M of angle AOB. Clear? Now after this measure of angle, let's discuss about remark. If we talk 90 degree, we measure angle in a degree, so 90 degree means right angle. 90 degree means right angle, or we can say that one right angle is equals to 90 degree. Clear? And 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes. 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes. This represent minutes. And 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. This 2 dash is represent seconds. Clear? Now after this, let's move to the next slide, and in next slide we discuss about types of angles. So now the first type of angle is acute angle. Acute angle is what? If measure of angle is less than 90 degree, then we can call it as acute angle. So an angle whose measure is less than 90 degree is called an acute angle. So this is, let this angle is theta, and we know that this is 90 degree. This is 90 degree, so theta is less than 90, so we can say that theta is 0 to 90, then we can call it as acute angle. Clear? Now after the acute angle, the next type of angle is right angle. Right angle is, we already discussed about the right angle. Right angle is what? The angle whose measure is 90 degree is called right angle. This is the example of right angle. Okay, let this is A, O and B, then we can say measure of angle AOB is equal to 90 degree, and we represent 90 degree by this sign. Clear? Now after the right angle, the next type of angle is obtuse angle. What is the obtuse angle? If measure of angle is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, then we know, when we know this angle is obtuse angle. Okay, so here if we draw this angle, let this is A, O and this is B, and let this measure is Z, and if Z is less than 180 degree but greater than 90 degree, then we called it as obtuse angle triangle. So these are the examples of obtuse angle triangle. Here measure is greater than 90 but less than 180 degree. Clear? I hope you understand about the acute angle triangle, acute angle and right angle and obtuse angle. So after this, next type of angle is straight line. What is the straight line? An angle whose measure is 180 degree, angle whose measure is 180 degree, then we can call it as straight line. This is 180 degree. Let this is A, O and B. So measure of angle AOB is 180 degree. Then we can call it as a straight line. We can call it as a straight line. Clear? So the next type of angle is reflex angle. What is the meaning of reflex angle? An angle whose measure is more than 180 degree but less than 360 degree is known as reflex angle. Clear? And students, in this diagram, this is angle AOB and we assume that this T is what? T is reflex of angle AOB. Okay, T is what? Reflex of angle AOB. Then here we can write angle AOB. Angle AOB is equals to, student, we know that the angle around any point, this complete angle is what? This is 360. Okay, so we can write it as 360 minus T. We can write it as 360 minus T. Okay, so we can write it as angle AOB plus T is equals to 360 degree, or we can write it as angle AOB and T is what? T is the reflex of angle AOB. T is what? T is the reflex of angle of angle AOB is equal to 360 degree. Clear? So students, from here we can say that the sum of angle and reflex of that angle is equal to 360 degree. And if we have to find the reflex of any angle, then we can find very easily by subtracting that from 360 degree. For example, reflex of 30 degree. Reflex of 30 degree is what? It is 360 minus 30 degree, that is equals to 330 degree. Clear? I hope you understand all about the reflex angle. So after the reflex angle, let's move to the next type of angle, and the next is complementary angles. The next type of angles is complementary angles. This is very important concept, or we can say important type of angles, because in the examination directly asks the questions related to complementary angles. Now, what is the complementary angle? Two angles, the sum of whose measure is 90 degree. Two angles whose sum is equals to 90 degree, then we know we called these type of angles as complementary angles. Here in this example, this is one angle, let this is theta 1 and let this is theta 2. This theta 1 and theta 2 both are acute angle, and the sum, if sum of theta 1 and theta 2 is equal to 90 degree, then we can call these two angles are complement of each other, or we can say that these two angles are complementary angles. Clear? I hope you understand this. So for better understanding, let's take one example. If angle AOB and is equal to 30 degree and angle POQ is equals to 90 degree. Angle AOB is equal to 30 and angle POQ is equal to is equals to 60 degree. If angle AOB is 30 and angle POQ is 60, then if we write angle AOB plus angle POQ, then it is 30 degree plus 60 degree and it is 90 degree. So we can say that angle AOB and angle POQ are complement of each other. Clear? I hope you understand this. And students, sometime we have angle and we have to find the complement of this angle. So if we have angle X, then complement of angle X is equals to 90 minus X. Clear? Understand? So after the complement angle, the next is supplementary angle. Supplementary angles. So what is the supplementary angle? Two angles, the sum of whose measure is 180 degree are called supplementary angles. Okay. So for example, we have two angles theta 1 and theta 2. Measure of that two angles are theta 1 and theta 2. Then these two angles are 180 degree. Then these two angles are supplementary. For example, if angle AOB is equal to 120 degree and angle POQ is equals to 60 degree. Okay. Then angle AOB plus angle POQ, it is equal to 120 plus 60 degree, and the sum of these two is equals to 180 degree. If sum of these two angle is 180 degree, then we can say that angle AOB and angle POQ are supplement of each other, or we can say that these two angles are supplementary angles. And students, if we have angle AOB, then supplement of or we can say supplementary angle of angle AOB is equals to 180 minus angle AOB. Clear? So I hope you understand what is the meaning of complementary angle and what is the meaning of supplementary angle. So after this, the next type of angle is adjacent angles. Now let's talk about the adjacent angle. What is the adjacent angle? Two angles are called adjacent angle if they have the same vertex, they have a common arm, and the uncommon arm are either side of the common arm. If you look this diagram, then here we have two angles, angle AOX. One angle is angle AOX and other is BOX. Angle BOX. And from these two angles we have a common arm. And that is OX. And students, uncommon arms are either side of the common arm OX. So we can say that angle AOX and angle BOX are adjacent angles. Clear? And students, when two angles are adjacent, then their sum is always equal to angle formed by the two non-common arms, and this statement is known as angle addition axioms. In subjective exams, it is directly asked that write the statement of angle addition axioms. So it is when two angles are adjacent, then their sum is always equal to the angle formed by the two non-common arms. And we can write this statement as angle AOB is equals to angle AOX plus angle BOX. Clear? So students, I hope you understand about the adjacent angles. So after the adjacent angle, the next type of angle is linear pair of angles. This is also very important type of angle, because most of the time the questions are based on the pair of linear angles. Now, two adjacent angles are said to be form a linear pair of angles if non-common arms are two opposite rays. In this diagram, students, we see that if we put this as A, O, B and C, okay, then AOB and BOC, angle AOB and angle BOC, we have two angles, and these two angles are adjacent angles. And non-common arms means OC and OA. OC and OA are opposite rays. These are opposite rays. So we can say that angle AOB and angle BOC, these are the linear pair of angles. And students, let's discuss about the one interesting thing about linear pairs. If a ray stands on a line, then the sum of two adjacent angles so formed is 180 degree. That means the sum of linear pair is equal to always 180 degree, because in this example here we see that 130 and 50, this is 180 degree. So this is the axiom that linear pair of angle is equals to 180 degree. Clear? So after this, let's move to the next axiom, and the next axiom is if the sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree. If the sum of two adjacent angle is if the sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree, then the non-common arms of the angle form a line. For example, if angle AOB is equals to 120 degree and angle COB is equal to 60 degree. Okay, here this is AOB and this is C. AOB is 120 degree or COB is equal to 60 degree. Now here angle AOB plus angle COB is equals to 120 plus 60. So it is equals to 180 degree. Clear? So we can say that these two are adjacent angle and sum is 180 degree. So non-common arms, that is COA. COA is what? It is a line, or we can say straight line. Clear? So I hope you understand about this axiom. So after this axiom, let's discuss about the next type of angle, and the next type of angle is vertically opposite angle. What is the vertically opposite angle? If two lines intersect each other, then the pair of opposite angles forms are called vertically opposite angle. For example, let this is line AB and this is PQ, and this intersecting point is O. Then this angle and this angle PAOP, angle AOP, angle AOP and angle BOQ, angle BOQ. These are the vertically opposite angle. And this angle QOA, angle QOA and BOP, these are vertically opposite angles. We can write vertically opposite angles as VOA in short form. Clear? Now let's discuss about the very interesting thing about vertically opposite angle. And there is a one theorem that if two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. If two lines intersect each other, let this is line L and this is line M, then let this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then 1 and 2 are vertically opposite angle, so we can write it as 1 equal to 2 and angle 3 equal to angle 4. Why? Because these are vertically opposite angles. Clear? Now I hope you understand all about the different types of angles. So after this different types of angle, let's solve some interesting examples. So the first example is, in the figure, angle AOC is equals to 50 degree. Angle AOC is equals to 50 degree. AOC is equals to 50 degree and BOC is equal to 20. Then angle AOB is equals to. So students, we can find the value of angle AOB by using angle addition axiom. So here angle AOC is equals to what? Angle AOB plus angle BOC, and the value of angle AOC is equals to 50 degree and angle AOB, we have to find the value of angle AOB, and angle BOC is equals to 20 degree. So now angle AOB is equals to 50 minus 20, that is equals to 30 degree. So this is the value of angle AOB, that is 30 degree. Clear? I hope you understand this question. Here we use angle addition axiom for adjacent angles. So after this, let's move to the next example, and the next example is, in this figure AOB is 35 degree. Find the reflex of this angle AOB. And student, we know that how to find the reflex of AOB. Reflex of angle AOB is equals to 360 minus angle AOB. Okay, and the value of angle AOB is 35 degree, so it is equals to 360 minus 35, and when we solve this, we will get the value 325 degree. So the reflex of angle AOB is equals to 325 degree. Clear? I hope you understand this question. So after this, let's move to the next example, and the next example is, in the figure OB is perpendicular on OA. OB is perpendicular on OA. That means this angle is equals to 90 degree. And angle AOC and angle BOC are complementary angles, because angle AOC and angle BOC, the sum of these two angles is 90 degree. Then we can say that these two are complementary angles. Find the value of X and hence find the value of AOC and BOC. Students, if these two are the complementary angles, then we can say that X plus 10 degree plus 2x plus 5 degree is equals to 90. Clear? Now it is equals to 3x plus 15 is equals to 90 degree, or we can write it as 3x is equals to 90 minus 15. 90 minus 15 is equals to 75. Now x is equals to 25. X is equals to 25 degree. Now we have to find the value of angle AOC, and the value of AOC is equals to x plus 10 degree, and x is 25, so the angle AOC is equals to 35 degree. Clear? Now find the value of BOC. Angle BOC is equals to, and the value of BOC is 2x plus 5, and the value of x is 25 degree, so 25 multiplied by 2, that is 50, and plus 5, that is equal to 55. So the value of BOC is equal to 55, and the value of AOC is equal to 35. Clear? Now after this example, let's move to the next example, and the next example is, okay, in this figure ray AD stand on the line CB. Angle BAD is equal to 2x plus 10 degree, and angle CAD is equal to 5x plus 30 degree. Find the value of x and also write the value of BAD and CAD. Students, we know that if BC is a straight line, then angle BAD and CAD are linear pair, and we know that the linear pair equals to 180 degree. So here we can write angle BAD plus CAD is equals to 180 degree. Clear? Now angle BAD equals to 2x plus 10, and angle CAD equals to 5x plus 30, and this sum is equals to 180. This sum is equals to 180 degree. So when we solve this, 5x plus 2x, that is equal to 7x, 30 plus 10, 40 is equals to 180 degree. So we can write 7x equals to 140 degree, or x is equals to 20 degree. X is equals to 20 degree. Clear? Now we have to find the angle BAD, and it is 2x plus 10, and the value of x is what? Value of x is 20, so it is equals to 40 plus 10, that is equals to 50 degree. So the value of angle BAD is equals to 50 degree, and the value of angle CAD is equals to, CAD is what? CAD is 5x plus 30, so 5x plus 30, so it is equal to 100 plus 30, that is equal to 130 degree. Clear? Now we get the value of angle BAD and CAD. So now after this example, let's move to the next example, and the next example is, we have to find the measure of complementary angles of following angle. The first is 22 degree. The first is 22 degree. We have to find the complement angle of this. So its complement angle is complementary angle is equals to 90 minus 22. So it is equals to 68 degree. It is equals to 68 degree. For second, we have 63 degree. 63 degree. So its complementary angle is equals to 90 minus 63, that is equals to 70 degree. Clear? I hope you understand how to find the complementary angle of given angle. So after this, the next example is find the measure of supplementary angle of the given angles. We have first angle 45 degree and the second angle 57 degree. So first is 45 degree. We have to find supplementary angle. Supplementary angle of this angle, and we can find supplementary angle of given angle as 180 minus 45 degree. 180 minus 45 degree, and when we solve this, it is equals to 135 degree. Clear? Now the second is 57 degree. So we have to find the supplementary angle of this. So supplementary angle of this angle is equals to 180 minus 57. 180 minus 57, it is equals to 123. It is equals to 123 degree. So students, I hope you understand how to find complementary angle of given angle or how to find supplementary angle of given angle. So students, in this lecture we discuss about different types of angles and we discuss some interesting questions which are based on the different types of angles. So now we have to finish today's class here. We will continue this chapter in next class. So thank you and have a nice day.